Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Power of Attorney with LeTonya Moore. So excited to be here on this Friday morning. So listen, guys, we are talking about some really great things today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So I want to start off by announcing, I mentioned it yesterday. So I want to start off by announcing our Hot Seat Friday. We're going to be doing something. I'm going to be doing something called Hot Seat Friday. And what Hot Seat Friday is, it's your opportunity to get into the Zoom room with me and ask the one question, get answers to the one question that you need in your business. Now, each person is going to have about 5 minutes to ask their question and get the answer. So it's going to be very fast. It's something that I got the idea actually from some of you, and I know that there are lots of you that watch on a regular basis. So this would be an opportunity, again, get in, ask your question, get a really quick, 5-minute answer, but 5 minutes sounds like a little small amount of time, but there is a lot, guys, that can happen in 5 minutes. So I'm really excited about this because I think that, again, this is something that a lot of you have been asking about. So let's see, you should never, I'm wondering why to a client okay, I'm still trying to figure this out. So please bear with me. So anyway, we are talking about, guys, Free Friday. So that is a new promotion that we're going to be starting up in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to be talking about it probably every day. Free Friday is going to be your opportunity to get some free advice directly from me. Now, what's the catch? You have to agree to be in the Zoom room with me. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Channing. You have to agree to be in the Zoom room with me. Okay. So I'm really excited about that. So this is how you're going to know. You're going to be able to sign up for Free Friday because we are going to be sending out some promotions about it. Right. And then you're going to click. And when you click that link, it will take you to a scheduling link. And then we will let you know what to do from that point forth. Because I don't want to take a lot of our time today sort of talking about all of the requirements. So just because you sign up doesn't mean you have to go through with it. But if you confirm, we expect you to be in the Zoom room on Friday. Sometimes it's going to be me by myself. Guess what? Sometimes it's going to be people like Kevin Williams out of Little Rock. He didn't know that, but I'm putting him on the spot. Yes. So sometimes it's going to be people like him in with me. You never know who's going to be in that Zoom room. So you need to make sure that you're going to be looking out for that you sign up so that you can get your questions answered. Again, it's only going to be roughly about 5 minutes per person because we want to get as many people in as we can, right? So let your friends know, let the people know that watch this broadcast. We are going to be giving some free coaching. So again, that's only going to be on Fridays. May not be every Friday. So we're still working those details out, which is why I haven't told you exactly what it's going to be yet. But just know that it's something that's going to be Friday again. More value for us to add. So again, very excited about that. Just so you guys know, it's something that's coming down. So very excited about that. Again, tomorrow is the Liberate Her 2017 Women in Business Virtual Summit. Those of you that don't have your tickets, unfortunately, ticket sales have ended. So thank you guys who bought tickets. Thank you guys that are joining us. I know that you are going to get a lot out of it. So now that I got all those housekeeping things out of the way on this episode of Power of Attorney with LeTonya Moore, I am excited today to talk about the 7 things you should never, ever say to a client or a prospect. Okay, today we're talking about the 7 things that you should never, ever say to a client or a prospect. Guys, like, share, and comment. Remember, this is an interactive session. Okay, this is an interactive session, so make sure that you like, share, and comment. Encourage others. For those of you that are watching from your devices, get on your device and invite others to this live feed so that they can be a part of getting this great information. Again, today we are talking about 7 things you should never say to a client or prospect if you want to get the deal. Now, these guys are not in any type of order. Whenever I give you a list, it's not in any type of order. Everything is just as important as the other. I wanted to make sure that I brought that up. I had a question about that from a subsequent list, and I'd forgotten to say that. So number 1, never tell a client, and this goes for your staff too, that's not my job. Never, ever tell a client that is not my job. Never. What you can tell them in the interim is that let us find a way to help you get that done. Let us find someone who can assist you with that. Now, you're still telling them, essentially, you're not going to do it. But what you're doing is you're providing them with the means to get it done. So I'll use Kevin as an example, right? Kevin is in sales. So if it's something that they need that really honestly requires either putting together a sales team or getting a sales team or understanding how to set up their sales methodology, now that they have all the foundational things set up, I'm not going to say, hey, listen, I don't do that. But what I will say to them is, I think that I have the right resource for you. Let me connect you with such and such, right? Which in this scenario would be a Kevin Williams. Okay. So think about that. Think about just that one thing, just that one thing that you change. How do you think the client would feel if they need something or they ask you for something and you say, yeah, we don't do that, or that's not my job? They're going to think that, wait a minute, I feel offended. The worst thing that you can ever do, again, this goes back to customer service, guys. We talked a lot about customer service. So again, never tell a client that it's not your job. What you do when you're talking to a client, guys, you want the client to know that you are their resource, right? Now, if you don't have a warm body resource to refer, like in my last example, what you want to do in that scenario is you want to be able to send them somewhere to get that information. Meaning, if you have a client that needs, I'll use this as an example, even though I do have a resource for this, but if I have a client that has a tax issue, I do not handle tax issues, meaning IRS. I don't do that. I don't go to the tax court and all of that. That is really outside the realm of what I do. But if they did not have someone to do that, I would find a resource for them. It may not be a person. It may not be a collaborative partner if I did not have one, but it may be an organization. I've had that happen. I've had someone contact me and I thought that what they needed was something that I did. Once we go through the strategy session, in the end, they didn't need me. They needed someone else. And I was able to connect them with an organization that could help them. So what am I saying? Always be a resource. Remember, we talked about that. Always be a resource, even if you're not the source. Because guess what? Almost everything that the client needs within your wheelhouse, they're going to come to you for it. They're going to first say, well, she may not do this, but I bet you she knows someone who does. And what that does, that's building that trust. That's keeping that trust built with the client. You want to make sure, guys, that you are doing that on a regular basis. So again, I want to welcome you guys. Thank you so much for being here. This is Friday. We are talking about 7 things you should never say to the client. So number 2, trust me. You have to show trust. You have to gain trust. You have to do what you say you're going to do. Foundational principles of character and integrity. If you do that, the client will trust you. Bottom line, if you come through, if you do every single thing that you say you're going to do, if you take responsibility for what does not go well, right? If you let them know that no matter what, you are going to be honest, they will trust you. And not only will they trust you, they will refer you to other people. Okay. Good morning, Shanice. They will refer you to other people. So again, these are things that you don't need to say. But what I'm telling you is they may be necessary. They may be necessary, but it's the way that you say it. Because you want clients to you want clients to feel like you are just as invested in them and what they're doing as you are in your own business. So when you're dealing with clients and this is their baby, this is something that they feel very passionate about. And so when you say, oh, trust me, it's almost like you're really putting them off. So you must be mindful of that, guys, especially when you're working around where I do with startups, small businesses, and now I'm moving into medium-sized businesses. No, they want the job done. Okay, that's all they want. You shouldn't have to tell them to trust you. You should be already operating at a level where they have no choice but to trust you. If there is something that the client needs, if there's something that the client needs or something that happens that the client doesn't like, or something that you're offering them that they don't particularly like, but this is sort of how you do things here. Don't let your final answer be, well, that's just our policy. Think about when you go places and you're trying to accomplish something as a customer and the company representative says, well, that's just our policy, ma'am, or that's just our policy, sir. Because you have a pain point that you need for someone to address. You don't want to hear that it's just someone's policy. You want to get an answer. You want an answer to your pain point. And this is why it is vital that you think about that. Don't say it's our policy. It creates a wedge before you can even get the sale. And sometimes it creates a wedge with a client and they're not going to come back. It's just as simple as that. They're not going to come back. So just like the previous one, find a workaround. So what you say is, let me see what I can do. Or now that's not something but we do, but we do offer this. A compromise. Now, if they're unwilling to compromise, then you can say, I'll see what I can do, but I just don't know that we'll be able to do that. That's all. And again, if you have to then come back and tell the customer no, at least you have decided or tried to give them something that could address that pain point. So number one, never say that's not my job. Number two, stay away from trust me. Number three, stay away from it's our policy. The next one, I don't do this. I don't do that. We don't do that. Nobody likes to hear that. The biggest thing that I think that, well, let me back up. This is actually too more so. Have you ever been to a restaurant and you ask the waiter or the waitress, how is the so-and-so? And they'll say, I never tried it. That's going to make you not want to eat it. Because usually you want to know that the person who works at a place, especially a food place, is eating the food. This is a scenario where you want to make sure that you are very careful in doing this. Now, those of you that are in, let's say, the food industry, I'll just stick with that as an example. This is a great example, guys, because when you have people that are coming and they want you to cater an event or something like that, you can say, well, you know, I did this same, I did this same cake for my sister's graduation, or I did this same thing for this. Or if you can find some type of way to make it